Now, coming to the subject of habeas corpus, and I think this is where one of our real big remedies lies, because you find out when you read Supreme Court cases that there's no right to an appeal in any criminal case. They don't care. Okay, statutory habeas corpus, which is 28 USC 2254, I believe, totally useless. And you'll see when you get my document packets, the court's ruled that in effect, actual innocence is not grounds to issue that writ. They don't care. So what we have to do is go back further than that. And by the way, that 28 U.S.C. 2254 only goes as far back as the revised statutes of 1874. That's a story for another video, but trust me, none of those statutes that were enacted were designed to work. They may look like it once in a while, and they may have to actually let somebody win once in a while to make you think it works, but it doesn't. I go back to the original Judiciary Act of 1789, one statutes at large 73, section 14, which provides for the writ, and it doesn't need to, because Article 1, Section 9, Clause 2 of the Constitution states the writ can't be suspended except in times of rebellion or invasion. I don't give a rat's ass about all these states of quote-unquote emergency they have. They don't matter. They have to answer us. We set this damn government up. And they're required to answer, particularly with this writ. And yet, as far as I'm aware, there hasn't been an original writ issued by the 9-0 farts since about 1928. Cases Ex parte Grossman, 267 U.S. 87. I think I'm right on that citation. You can look it up. So why is that? I mean, this is a real problem. And when I tried to put a writ in here to the California Supreme Court, this is what got me started on the issues I am using today. I get it, rejected summarily, not by the court. If the justices had done this, this would have been a clear case of treason to the Constitution, according to the justices of the Supreme Court, and I believed them. Instead, I got a letter back from a deputy clerk of court saying that the petition was denied because the California courts lacked jurisdiction to entertain federal questions. It wasn't exactly the language, but that's what it said. Now, if that's true, they're conceding that there's no states, because when the Union and the Constitution was set up, that concurrent jurisdiction was not only there, there's something of a big fight in the Constitutional Convention to be damn sure it was there to keep from happening what we have now, where you don't have any federal judicial courts and no way to go in and get the writ of habeas corpus issued. So the Constitution mandates it, the Supreme Court has recognized it, and yet we can't get in there. What does that tell you? I mean, that's huge, because if we get there with that writ, that's not a discretionary writ which the justices can decide to hear or not hear. This is one they have a constitutionally sworn duty, to take on, hear, and decide. And you'll see when you get the paperwork that I have, my authorities here are platinum, right from the Supreme Court. I'm not going to quote it here, which I could do off the top of my head. But trust me, I did this, and not only that, when I was sitting in that South Carolina jail cell, I wrote an 18-page hand-printed writ of habeas corpus, and I had the entire site in there from a case called Cohen's, C-O-H-E-N-S versus State of Virginia, 19 U.S. 264, where the Chief Justice Marshall said we had a right to go there, and we still do. That's what we have to start doing, or threatening them with. Even the threat is going to take care of most, especially most of your traffic tickets. It may work in most criminal cases, and with the experimental case I'm just taking on with mortgage bankers, we'll see about that too. Now you may say to yourself, how the hell do you get rid of habeas corpus against a mortgage banker? That's the subject matter for a video on a different day, but trust me, they're just as guilty, and the actions and the jurisdiction they're subjecting you to is just as criminal as what your local dumbass or district attorney does. And therefore, the writ's going to be good there, too. You're absolutely going to love it. So this is how we get, going, and how we get our remedies in effect. And I have some other ones up my sleeve you'll hear about more, particularly on my upcoming talk show appearance on April the 12th, when I have a chance to talk a bit about it more in depth and take an hour and a half of questions from listeners, which I love to do. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be a really good one. Thank you.